Yo, it's Elendi. So today I got another guide for you. I figured I'd show you how to loop the new tiles they added today to Autohaven, and how to use the Checkspots on them correctly, as well as a new crouch Checkspot I found. So I'll just plug that into the beginning of the video, so we can just get into it. So this new crouch Checkspot is actually very convenient. It's a check and it's quite easy to pull up. You just crouch next to this dumpster pile, because it elevates the killer off the floor, so Blight, Billy, Demogorgon, they won't be able to hit you, as you can see. And yeah, it just gives you a slight advantage at check, and they just slide off you, or the M1 just goes through you whenever they try to hit you. And it works from both sides. I'll show you what it looks like from the killer's POV as well, but as for now, I know it works against Billy, Blight, and Demogorgon, although a very good Blight might be able to counter it. It's a pretty neat spot, and it might work against some other killers as well, maybe against killers like Nemesis or Oni, I'm not too sure, didn't really test for those. But as for now, it works against these three killers, and as you can see on killer POV, you just stop at the survivor or slide off them, depending on how they are positioned. Alright, so these are the three check spots I use for this half side of the bus. You can see them on the entire left side if you stand here, and you can see them through the hole by the window and the hole on the right of you. And it's essentially a safe window, because you can react no matter which side he chooses, and you can also just camp the window if you really want to, because it's kind of safe. So for the other side of the half bus, you want to be looping this left side, because you're able to see him above these tires, and you're also able to see him inside of that window above the mirror on the bus. And you can react no matter which side he chooses of it. You can always try to loop this side of the pallet by just holding corners, but it's way more unsafe, so you're way more likely to just die. The real strength in the new fun bus lies in connecting the window bus with the pallet bus, and if you run it correctly, the killer won't be able to catch you for all 3 vaults by just holding the check spots and not panic vaulting anything. And if you just run on the left side of the pallet bus and connect that with the window bus, you essentially get 3 vaults for free, just from this tile alone, which is very strong. So for the new fall lane, you can see him through this crack in the wall, and his red light actually flows through a bunch of the small cracks in the wall as well, so you can kind of see when he goes back and forth in between. You can also hold the corners here if you don't have reshade, for example, but it's just way easier reacting to the red lights than having to hold a corner, because you lose plenty of distance when you hold corners. This is one of the pallets better left pre-dropped, so don't be afraid of throwing this pallet early down in a chase, because this tile gets way stronger once that pallet is down, because you're able to combine the pallet with the window way more efficiently. This new car loop, you can position your camera to see through the little cracks in between the cars, so you can see if the killer does any mind games just by looking at him through the cracks. But often this is also left better pre-dropped, because once this pallet is dropped, you're essentially untouchable. So the check spots for this car loop is when he passes this corner with this red light, you get a safe vault, and when he passes the little box on the outside of the cars, you also get a safe vault. So both sides of this car is safe, so he's gonna be forced to break this pallet unless he wants to be stuck here. So this new dumpster tile is actually pretty safe, because you can see the killer above the entire loop. And once the pallet is thrown, there are 2 check spots you can hold to make sure you get the vault every time without being hit. At least if he's not Bloodless 3 or high ping. So I'll just show them to you. So you vault when the feet are at the corner of the dumpster, and when he goes around the other side, you vault when he's at the other corner of the dumpster. So you essentially get a vault every time if you time it correctly and don't panic. For this little shitter tile or edge map tile, you just pre-drop that so you can connect it with other tiles if there's anything nearby. If there's nothing nearby, it's unsafe. You usually get hit here no matter what, so you are kind of forced to connect it to something else, like a filler pallet, for example. For some reason, they decided to change the Syn Car, so it's a bit more survivor favored now. But you just hold corners and play this pallet until it's dropped, and then afterwards you play the vaulting game. When he's at the nose of the car, you can vault from that side, and when he comes around the middle of the car, you're able to vault back again. This one does require a stable connection though, so be mindful of that if the killer has bad ping or you have bad ping, because it can be a bit unsafe at times. Just the same as the Syn Car, this one requires a stable connection as well. And when it's at either corner of the car, you can perform the vault, and you should be fine as long as it's not iffy ping. But if it's ping, I can't promise anything, because anything can happen. So for gas main, you usually just loop the pallet and take either window, depending on where the killer pods to. And you just path around the entire main side and run through every time, because the door is open now, which makes the main building way stronger for Survivor. So you usually get 2 at least, maybe 3 vaults before he catches up to you, and then you can play both of the pallets around main. The one on the back end is usually very strong, and you usually have the one in front as well as the one on the inside. So a main on Gas Heaven is now extremely strong, and you should make sure you use that properly. I believe that's all the new tiles they added. If they added anything after BTB, I can't really cover it sadly. But that's all I have for now, so if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and that's it for now. Goodbye.